Hi, so in this video, I think this is part 2 of part 2. I wanted to just show you how first I get these darks in and the details. I wanted to also show you how I, just sort of finish this part and make it more clear to the light that's in the painting. And I'm going to go over the sky again. But before I do that, I need to backpedal for a minute, and I want to show you an alternative way to have started that I could have started this, that I wish I had done, so I'm showing it to you. I wish I had had a little bit more of a spontaneous start, so I want to just show that with a slightly bigger image. Okay, so mainly just in the grasses, what I wanted to show is to get sort of big washes on here first without worrying too much about the detail, or just stripping it down into the essential details. Because for me, this little curve here, this one, and the shadow, to me, make very important shapes, and I'd like them to be more spontaneous. So I'm going to do this more wet on wet. I'm going to use this dark right here as kind of a divider, so I can do this part and then that part. So here goes. All right. So I'm just going to wet this nice and wet. You might notice I have a little bit of underpainting to help me find my place. So I'm just wetting everything on this side. Should be fairly quick. So I'm just going to start by looking at the lightest tones, which to my eye is right here, and a little bit right here. But everything else, even these other lights, are to my eye a little bit differently colored and a little darker than this. So my goal for this first wash is to get a gradation that really carves out this area and puts some spontaneous strokes in for the darks. So here goes. So I'm starting with the light, and I'm going to use the lemon yellow because it'll just create a nice sense of opposites. It's very bright, but this will get toned down later. And now I'm going to the cadmium yellow deep. And it's a little toned down, so I'm just going to tone it down with a little bit of dioxazine violet. And it's going to dry lighter, so okay, so it has to go a little darker. So a little dioxazine. Yeah, that's good. And remember, if you like the way the color looks, it's going to dry 2 shades lighter, sorry. So I need to, even though this looks way too dark, I need to make it a little darker. Windsor blue too. Back to the lemon. But you can see in this way of working, I'm very deliberately leaving a lot of light in here. And a little bit of Windsor blue to kind of shift the color a little more green here. More blue, and I'm also gonna I'm into the shadow here with a little bit of brown. Okay. Little dioxazine, little Windsor blue. So I really want to make sure I get a little hint of the gray that's going to be here. I'm not going to really pay much attention over here yet. So it's still pretty wet, and to me that looks pretty good. It's got a little bit of a buckle right here. So the next thing I want to do is just get a little bit of shading on the edges of these. And also this could be a lesson, well, for me, if I'm really not happy with the start of something, it's sometimes really the best thing to do is to just start over. As hard as that is, and as unpleasant as that is. It's definitely not fun to start over. But if you're going to get a good painting out of it, it's to me worthwhile. Okay. So really trying to pay attention to brights and dulls and just really pay attention to the tone shifts. long as this bead's here, it's still wet. Okay. But I feel much better about this as a start. As long as and it's still it's just about dry, but still has this puddle over here. So I think I could safely get in this nice shading that's over here. And I'm just going to sort of hint at it with what I feel is an undercolor, which is sort of a maybe brownish gold, so a lot more purple in the color. But this was really something that I felt important to get in early. All right, time to stop. Okay. All right, so for me that's a much better start. It sort of begins to set the stage for the, what's to me important. Actually, one last thing. Well, that feels better. Okay, done for now, I promise. So I am going to do a part 3 just to keep this short. So that was the end of part 2.